This is Soulpreneur, the space where strategy, spirit, and soulful leadership meet. I am Ezewani Abi, and here we have conversations for purpose-driven founders who want profit but also want balance and peace. Join us. Hi, Grace.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Very well. Thank you for having me.
So welcome to Soulpreneur. I'm looking forward to our conversation about your business and you. On this chat, we just have a free-flowing conversation about business, life, and management of all things that pertain to our experience as business owners. So, right as we're getting started, tell us a little bit about yourself and about what business you're working on right now.
Okay. My name is Grace Abi Emweze. I'm married with 2 children. I'm currently the founder of Queenie Aura Beauty. Queenie Aura Beauty was birthed out of faith and experience, if I would say that. I basically wanted to create a brand that reminded people that beauty isn't just skin deep, I'm a Christian and I'm very big on that. I own it. So I wanted something that had a little bit of spirituality, emotion, and of course the physical aspect of that. And as a woman of faith, I felt strongly that skincare and self-care should affirm that everyone is created in God's image. So Queenie Aura became a way for me to merge beauty, wellness, and faith into something that I would say restores confidence and brings light into people's daily routines. So that's basically what inspired that. And the name Queenie.
Right. I was going to go into that.
The name Queenie is unique. It's my middle name. My name is Grace Quenajo Abi. Okay. And that's the Delta part of, my mom is from Delta, and it basically means trust in God. So I wanted something, again, since my brand has a little bit of, faith and all of that, no better name to give it than Queenie Aura. And what that means is because my name is rooted in some sort of heritage, like, faith-based and as well. It also reflects, and aura reflects light and glow and presence.
Right.
So together, Queenie Aura basically symbolizes carrying yourself with confidence, with uniqueness and divine beauty. So yeah, that's how the name came to be.
That's awesome. As you were talking and explaining the name, what I thought of was trust in your light.
Yes.
Right? Because you mentioned Quenajo is like trusting in God, right? And then Aura. So yeah, that sounds like an awesome blend of spirituality and self-care, as you mentioned. So how long, and I'm not gonna, we're cousins, but I'm not going to give away information. So how long had you been thinking about your business, and what made you decide to go ahead and push forward?
Okay, that's a good question. I have wanted to go into, I've always been a business person right from college days, what we call college here, university days. Always would travel, buy stuff and sell. But I know in the last 5 years, I wanted to go into skincare, but I was looking for a partner. I just didn't want to do it by myself. And I spoke to a cousin of mine, and we're like, okay, we're going to try and work out something. But unfortunately, the timing for my cousin then just wasn't the right one. Yeah. And I was at a phase in my life sometime last year where I knew that if I didn't get this going, I probably wouldn't want to do it again. Yeah. So I checked my savings, got every money that I needed to do, and just had to get it started. And my fear then was I didn't want to start small. I thought if I wanted to go into skincare, which is a huge, market or sort of business, I wanted to start big. I wanted to be able to, I just wanted to go all out. But it just wasn't it. So when I knew that I was just going to be doing this myself, I said, you know what, no matter how it is, I'm just going to look for manufacturers that are willing to work with my quality and quantity, and I'll just get started. So all of this became reality sometime last year, but it's been in the making for the past 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
However, we just launched in July 20th precisely.
Oh, congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So you just launched, so we can find you online. We can search and purchase the items.
Yes, that's
okay.
correct.
So what was the most challenging part of building? You have the idea, you have the concept in mind, but here you are trying to build it, trying to find manufacturers. What was the most challenging part of getting the business off and running, actually getting started, launching, getting it accessible to people? What would you say was the most challenging part of that experience?
I think I'll put that into I'll put that into two phases. Most challenging for me, if I were to answer that as just a one-line answer, would be getting myself ready. Because I wouldn't want to use the phrase doubting myself, but I just felt I wasn't ready. Like I pushed my launch, I think 3 times, because I felt I needed it to be perfect. And for every time I was like, no, we didn't get this right. Something else has to be done. So that for me was challenging, getting into the face of place where I knew that I was ready to launch. And the other part of it was, just finding good manufacturers and getting people that I would call my team members who were willing to see the vision, who understood the vision, and they were ready to run with it. I had a couple of people that I wanted to pull in and, just to help me make it a reality. But they weren't so clear about it. A lot of them were like, oh, why are you adding the spiritual part of it? That doesn't go with skincare. Why are you doing? But I was like, no, this is what I feel led to do.
Right.
That's the vision that I have, and that's how I want to run with it. So, yeah. I hope that answered the question.
Absolutely. Because sometimes that's what stops a lot of people from actually doing something, right? Yeah. The ability to trust in their light, the ability to trust in their vision, the ability to say, okay, this may not make sense. I don't have it all figured out, but I'm going to push through anyway, because for the idea to even come to me, there is a purpose for that. There is a reason why I am the one who has been inspired to do it, and to do it this way.
Yeah.
Because everyone can do it, but not everyone's going to do it the way you're doing it. So I completely understand that. All right. So here we go. Your challenge, you eventually push yourself off. And now we are a few months in. What has been the most, I want to say challenging again, but I'm going to go for excitement. What has been the most exciting part now that you have launched and you have now seen pretty much what could happen once you push yourself forward?
The day of the launch, I was expecting maybe like 50, 60 people max. And we had a strict timeline to start at 1:30. By 2 p.m., there was maybe just 2 people in the hall. I got a hall. It was like a real launch.
Wow.
By 2:30, maybe like 5 people. And then you know what? I was like, you know what? I told my team, we're just going to get the MC, everyone. I was like, we're just going to get started, and I'm going to speak as though we have 5,000 people in the hall. Right. I don't care if people don't show up. I don't care if people show up. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And just as I was about getting started, trying to talk, people just started trooping in.
Oh, wow.
We had over 120 people at the launch. Wow. And we were almost sold out on all our products on that day.
That's amazing.
That to me was exciting. That to me was proof that if you put your mind to something, and you work hard to achieve it, you definitely can excel. Yeah. And it's been good from that day because we haven't even, I was like, okay, what will the feedback be like? People that start using the product, because Queenie Aura we have the hairline and the skincare line.
Nice.
So I was a little worried, like what would be the feedback? Of course, we've done tests, we've given out some testers and we've gotten feedback, but now these are real, actual people using the product. Some people I've never met before, some people who came with their friends, but it's just been from one exciting news to the other. Yeah. We keep getting reviews, good feedback, people struggling to send in their video feedback as well, which is exciting for me. So I would say that has been the most exciting as a founder, or whatever we want to call it.
As a leader, as a founder, definitely.
Yes.
That's awesome. I mean, thanks for sharing that. Definitely inspiring, right? Pushing through regardless, especially when you need customers. Like you start a business as a product-based business. It's very different from a service-based business, because with products, you not only are you holding stock, inventory, managing of that, but you're having to also figure out marketing, customer base, what do they need? Does it work for them? Does it not work for them? So that's real confirmation that you're on the right path. You mentioned having a team or starting a team early. I'm going to touch on that really quickly, because a lot of times entrepreneurship can be a little daunting, and most people feel they have to do everything themselves, or at least feel like in the beginning they have to do most things themselves. One, what inspired you to think of having a team early on? Two, because I'm sure at some point someone is going to watch this and say, I want to start a business, but how did you afford to have a team so early? Was it something where they have a piece of the business? Just, a little bit more of that process from a managerial perspective. How did you make that happen to have people already working with you at the initial stages of the business?
Okay, I think I didn't make that clear from the beginning. So when I said I had a team, these are not employers or employees.
Okay.
These are people that I reached out to, that I saw that they have some sort of capacity to be able to help me.
Okay.
They had volunteered, reached out to say, hey, Grace, how can we help you? And initially I was like, no, I'm going to do it all by myself. I don't want people in my business. I don't want people to know this. I don't want people to know that. But like 2-3 months into launching, I knew that I definitely needed people. And at that point, I was shameless about it. I wasn't shy anymore.
Okay.
I reached out to a couple of my friends, about 3 or 4 of them, and said, hey, I know you had asked me if I needed help. I do need help. My brother, he's been awesome. Also reached out to him to, ask him to be on board, basically. So they have nothing when it comes to a percentage of the business. No, they were just there helping me out, and they are still there as needed if I want them to help me. So what I did was to group these people into different groups. I had a COO, someone I call a chief officiating officer, like a project manager who was in charge of the launch. I had somebody that was in charge of sales, making sure that, when people come on the day of launch or afterwards, they ensure that, taking cash or whatever means of payment was going through. I had the digital team, somebody that was designing, ensuring that the website at the back end is looking good, the product that we are displaying on Instagram. So I gave everybody like a title, and I told them what exactly I wanted them to do. And they have been so amazing. We haven't gotten to a place yet where we can start paying salaries, but definitely we'll be happy to have them on board. When we do have the capacity to start paying them. But that's how I went about it. I mean, there's no need to feel shy about wanting help. I just couldn't do it alone. And I was open about it. I was honest about it. I was vulnerable about it. And I reached out to these folks, and they were very willing to help out.
Yeah. So essentially, you utilized the people you already have in your life.
That's correct. I did.
Right. No need going out to source new people. No need trying to sell to someone else who may not know you, but actually utilizing those that were around you. And luckily, you were willing. I mean, they were willing to help you out, because sometimes finding the people and asking them doesn't mean that they're willing.
I was lucky. I'm lucky.
Right. So that's a blessing in its own that you have the resources that were willing, available, and on board to help you as you started the process.
That's correct.
Awesome. So here we are, we've launched, we're now selling products. As you're going through the process of growing this, I had another question, but I'll wait for that. How do you manage your work-life balance? Because I wouldn't even call it work-life balance. I would call it just balance in general, right? Because there's work and then there's business ownership, which is a little bit more than just work. It is the creation of something that takes a bit more than just a scheduled work time for you. So how are you able to manage life business, family. You mentioned your mom as well. How do you put all those aspects of your life together in a way that still feeds you and does not particularly drain you as you're growing this business? What have you been able to do to manage that?
Okay, that's a good question. And, I didn't think too much of it until you asked now, because I'm just used to getting it done.
Yeah.
But I would say that since launching Queenie Aura, I don't want to use I don't think it would be nice to say I don't sleep, because I actually do get some hours of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But when others are sleeping, I'm doing the other job.
Work, yeah.
I'm editing videos. I'm reviewing stuff. I'm thinking of the next phase. I'm thinking of what next. How can we make it better? I'm reaching out to some customers, just to find out, okay, you bought this last week. How is it going? Do you have complaints? Anything we can help you out with? It hasn't been easy, but I have been able to do it. One, because I'm blessed with a good husband. Mm-hmm. So he's been very helpful. And two, my kids are very understanding. My daughter is 13, going on 14, and my son is 10, going on 11. So they understand that mommy has a business. Mm-hmm. And they know that mommy's business has to bring in money. Otherwise, mm-hmm. So when I explain to them that, hey, I need like 2 hours to myself to figure out things and to do stuff, they understand it. They don't question it.
Yeah.
But I also make it a priority to spend time with them. Mm-hmm. So that's why I tend to do a lot of the other work, Queenie Aura work or job, in the night or in the evening. Okay. When they're asleep, when I can have time to myself. So it's not taken out of their own time as well, right. Or so much out of my husband's time or my kids' time, because I have to balance it. So that's how it's been. I also work. Not sure if I should say this here, but I work full time.
You should, because a lot of times I've spoken to a few people on this platform so far, and myself included. Yeah. When you get started, there is another job. There is a job that pays the bills while you have time to work on the business at night. So you still maintain the job while this is growing. Yeah.
And my job can be quite hectic. I travel almost every week to different parts of the country. Mm-hmm. And with that, I always have to have my other laptop, which is the Queenie Aura laptop, and do that work in the evening. So I've been able to balance it, and that's it.
That's amazing that you can. Once you add the travel, then it's another element, because now we're not just talking a regular schedule of work. We're talking traveling and meeting with people during the day and all of that. And I exhaled when you were talking about the work-life balance and making sure the kids understand. Literally this morning, I think my son had a moment. It's like, I don't feel like we're spending enough time together. In my head, I'm like, yeah, we are. I'm running a business.
Yeah.
I have to do A, B, C, D, E. But yes, it's always great when they can understand what you're trying to build, and how it is also not just beneficial for you to build this thing that's within you, but also for them, right? Because the experiences, they will learn from your experiences. They'll benefit from a whole mom that's not only showing up as a mom, but also showing up for herself as an individual that's creating a dream that she has. So I completely understand the desire or the ability to do that at night while balancing life in another way. All right, so now we are going, I guess we're heading towards the first year, and what's next? What are some dreams and plans that you have for Queenie Aura? Short term, long term, what's your vision for your company?
Short term, my goal is to get Queenie Aura into Amazon, Walmart, and a few beauty supply stores before the end of the year.
Nice.
Long term is to be global. Nice.
Nice.
Queenie Aura Beauty, I wouldn't say of course it's Black owned, but I studied a lot about the Black skin and the need, because a lot of times as Blacks, we tend to just use anything because people say it works, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But we forget that some certain products aren't produced specifically for Black people in mind. But I really wanted to produce, a lot of our products are for Black people, but a lot of our products as well can be used by anyone. So the goal is to start preaching Queen Aura to everyone, so that in the next maybe 2 years, 2 to 3 years, we would be almost global, where people in Europe would, when they think of skincare, Queen Aura will be, one of the things of the companies, the options that they think of. Yes.
Well, I will hope and pray with you that.
And aside from that, so that's why I was quite intrigued when you talked about community.
Yes.
And apart from that, another goal that we basically want to aim to achieve is in the next 24 months, we hope to have a community of women where, maybe in the next 1 year or even 2 years, we would start to meet as, not just virtual meeting, where people will come, meet up, talk about faith, talk about family, talk about marriage. We want a safe space for every woman to be able to, to connect with. So it goes, for me, the brand is far beyond skincare or hair care. It's not about creating a space for women where, even if you've given up hope about God, or you don't think God exists, we want to be able to talk you into believing that, God loves you, He kept you for a reason. And apart from that, just making sure that overall you are good, basically.
That's amazing. I think that's a good note to end on. Thank you so much for being, making some time for us to have this conversation.
Absolutely.
Where can people find you, and what's the website name? So that way, when this is ready and shared with others, they can always find you online as well.
Yes, we are online on Instagram, on Facebook, on Threads, on TikTok, and it's at Queen Aura Beauty, KWENE AURABEABEAUTY.
Queen Aura Beauty. Queen Aura, all right. And the website the KWE is the part we'll have to remember. Queen Aura.
Right. And because some people think it's Queen Aura, but
right, because it's easy to say that. When you look at it, you're like, that would actually be what most people might make it, it to sound like Queen Aura.
But we are online on Shopify. Our website is www.queenaurabeauty.com.
Nice.
Yeah. And
awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Your time, and we'll definitely keep in touch.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Related.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.